Fine. Then today I'm going to discuss about introduction and overview of this course. What kind of things we will discuss and what we will learn, what would be objective and what would be outcome. Those kind of things. You will see it. Here you have already seen in the very first slide, you have already seen one graph. It is talking about gradient descent technique. It is even more than gradient descent technique. You can observe that here gradient descent, uh, here something more than gradient descent. It is taking a generalized uh, positive definite metric decay as well to make the descent more smoother or more faster. So even gradient descent technique is a very simple kind of technique. Apart from that, there are many derivative of that technique. So those kind of things also we will discuss in this course as a convex optimization algorithm as well. So coming to uh, today's lecture, so outlines are the following, or content of this today's lectures are the following. First, I would like to discuss about course information, where I would like to discuss course logistic and assessment of this course. It would be followed by course overview. There, I would like to discuss about theoretical and computational aspect of uh, here optimization, not algebra, optimization. Then I would like to give few motivation behind this course, and if time permit, then I will go to discuss about convex sheets. So now coming to first part of this course lecture, here I'm coming to course introduction. So here first, what is the objective and outcome of this course? If you are coming to objective, you will see that there are many remarkable progress we observe in engineering science, whether it is computer or whether it is electronics and communication. They are using technique from convex optimization, very useful technique. And convex optimization technique always giving solution. Most important thing is that whenever you apply a convex optimization technique over any kind of science or engineering problem, it is giving a solution to that problem. So objective of this course, it would be two-folded. First, we would like to develop a solid understanding of these techniques, and once we are having solid understanding of this technique, we will study new result based on this technique with few more applications. Once we will go through this, what would be outcome? Outcome would be you can use this technique in your incoming academic higher life, higher academic life or industrial life. You can get a lot of application of this course in incoming life. Now I'm coming about especially this semester of convex optimization course. I have created few links. First one is Google Classroom link, where what you will observe that uh, Google Classroom is especially meant to run smoothly this class and to conduct teachers exams and tutorials, other kind of things. For that perspective, Google Classroom link, everyone need to join who were opting for this course. And link to join the Google Classroom code is already given here. You can join the Google Classroom with this code. Now, to have live interaction and live classes, I have created one Google Meet link. This is the link. With the help of this Google Meet link, you can join live interaction or live classes. Now, I would like to suggest to use Institute Mail to maximize the benefit of G Suite, because it might be a paid version from Institute, so that's where you will get a lot of benefit of Institute Mail. Now coming to syllabus, there are actually 5 modules, but effectively 4 modules. In first module, I would like to discuss about overview of convex optimization problem and basic concept of convexity, like convexity of set and convexity of functions. Then after that, we'll discuss about optimal conditions and convex optimization problem. After that, we'll discuss about one important part of this optimization. That one is a duality probability. It allowed to convert a difficult or non-convex problem into a convex problem. Once we are having a convex problem, then in module 4 we will discuss about convex optimization algorithm. That means algorithm based on convex optimization problem, and which lead to find solution of a given problem iteratively. Automatic solution, you can call it automation. Model 4 giving an idea of automation. In module 5, if time permit, then we will go for module 5, where we will discuss about estimation and detection problem. So estimation detection having different kind of name in different courses. Like if you are in machine learning, these things we are calling it machine learning model. If you are in signal processing, then we are calling it signal processing model. If you are in control theory, then we are calling it system identification. So there are variety of name of these two problems, but in a unified way, it is everywhere, approach is everywhere same. Everywhere we have to do either estimation or detection. Like parameter, suppose we want to develop a regression model, then what we have to do there in regression we have to estimate parameter. So that one is a estimation problem. And suppose we have an image which is blur or some kind of noise there, that means we are having a noisy image. So from the noisy image, what we do, we want to filter out noise, or we just want to reconstruct signal only. Signal means what information we want. That means what only we want information about image. So we want only image. So from that perspective, we need to do a detection kind of thing there. So that problem we are calling it a detection problem. But overall scenario of estimation and detection is that both are the optimization problem. Both are optimization problem, and in both problems we can apply convex optimization algorithm in order to automate the process. So that's where I had brought this module 5. After covering module 4, first 4 module, we will go for application part. So fifth is also very interesting from different perspective. Now coming to course assessment. So there would be 4 exams in total. 2 quizzes would be there, 2 terms exam would be there, and 20% marks it will come from assignment and class participant or minor project. If time permit, then I will go for minor project. Otherwise, class participant might be enough. Now 30% marks it will come from quizzes. There would be 2 quiz, one quiz before midterm, another quiz it would be between midterm and end term. And syllabus is already mentioned there. Apart from that, 20%, 25% it would come from midterm, and further 25% it would come from end term. And syllabus is already mentioned there. Throughout this course, I will try to maintain this mass assessment. Now, time to time, I would like to assign you assignment and homework, and that you have to submit within deadline. Now, coming to references, whatever lecture note I will provide, that would be enough to cover this course, and I would provide 2 different kind of slide. First slide it would be before class, that would be a fresh slide, and one another slide that would be annotated slide after the class. Regularly, I will provide these 2 kind of slide for every lecture. Apart from lecture notes, if you want to go in detail, then you can look into this convex analysis by Rockefeller. He is one of the pioneer person in convex optimization. You can look into that. I think this soft copy of these books, you can just Google it out and you will get it. It is a free version, I think. And other references books are convex analysis and optimization by Dmitry Batiskas. There is one more convex optimization algorithm. If someone is very much interested in algorithm, then you can look for this book. It is by again Dmitry Batiskas. He is from MIT. And there is one third book in reference. That one is Convex Optimization by Stephen Boyd. You can get a soft copy of this one from Stephen Boyd's website easily. It is a freely available book. So all these are references. And again, I would like to recall that most of question and answer, it will come from slide. So I think slide by itself, it might have enough information for this course. Now, if I'm coming to prerequisite, in between, if anyone willing to ask any question, then you are welcome. And if you don't want to ask by voice, then you can put your comment in the comment box as well. Now, I'm coming to prerequisite. So actually, whatever I will cover in this course, that would be self-contained as much as possible. But you may have a working knowledge of the following courses. First one is linear algebra. In fourth semester, you have already taken that course. From the linear algebra, you can take out rank, determinant, eigen eigenpair like eigenvector, eigenvalue, positive definiteness of a matrix. All these things you can recall. Otherwise, time by time, I will keep on mm, giving concept about those. I will discuss about those concepts as well. Now, from calculus, you need to recall computing idea of gradient, Hessian, and Taylor expansion. Taylor expansion, why I'm asking that? Because we know that most of system or situation, whatever we are observing around us, happens to be nonlinear in nature, and there is no direct technique which can deal with nonlinear technique. So what we do, we have to approximate that system with the help of a linear system. So Taylor approximation, you can observe that what we do, if we are having a function, whether it is linear or non-linear, whether it is exponential or whether it is trigonometric or whatever it is, but if you are able to write Taylor expansion, what we observe, their variable thing happens to be gradient, Hessian kind of things. What are these? These are linear operators. So simply we are trying to approximate a function with the help of Taylor expansion as a linear or piecewise linear kind of things. So that idea is coming here, and whenever it would be applied. So that's why I asked to recall Taylor's expansion. Now coming to a few more requisite, it is not strong, but in tutorial class we will do some simulation of these courses as well. Also during the class, also I will give some simulation task as well. So from that perspective, you have to recall algorithmic idea. I think you all are from 7th semester, so definitely you all might have enough idea of algorithm and programming language as well. So I don't think you all will face any problem here in algorithm. And in probability segment, when we will go to application part, in that case we need to recall few things like expectation, variance, and distribution, etc. These things may come there in estimation. Now for the first two, if you want to talk about linear algebra and calculus regarding references, it is not necessary to go to different book. Just you go in last few pages of Boyd, you will get enough information regarding required linear algebra information and calculus you can get from Boyd book itself. Now I'm coming to course overview. So what is the course overview? Here in this lecture, this is the first lecture. It is talking about introduction to convex optimization. So my pace little bit fast, but when I will come to regular class, then things would be in a proper smooth. We'll try to cover in a proper speed. Okay, so I'm coming to course overview. So in course overview, first I would like to discuss about what is the optimization. So optimization, if you come to, it is the art and science of making the most out of every situation. That means if you are having any situation, any system, we try to take most out of things. That means most means best thing. So best means again it is talking about optimal things. That means it is talking about optimization. You have probably all done it many times in the last few weeks, or you might have already observed such scenario anywhere, like what course to take. So if you are willing to decide what course to take, this one would be your objective function kind of things. And in order to decide, you have to put some constant. What are the constant? Constant would be to make maximum learning, to make maximum job opportunity, to minimize your course conflict, to see whether professor rating is having uh, greater than some threshold value or not. All these are the constant to decide what course you want to take. Another optimization problem is that suppose you are going to buy a furniture. So that is the objective. So in order to fulfill your objective, what kind of constraint you can put there? So constant, it would be like you definitely you want to minimize your cost. You don't want to uh, put your whole money there. So you want to minimize your cost. You definitely want to maximize your comfort. And again, you have to see whether that furniture it will fit in your room or not. And also you have to see that it must be of optimal size. That means it can't be too heavy kind of things. Another scenario, if suppose you are going for dinner, and then that time to fulfill that objective, what kind of constraint you need to put there? You have to put like you have to minimize your costs. You can't lose much money from your purse. So also you would like to see that your that hotel where or restaurant wherever you are going for dinner, it is not uh, far away. It is less than 0.5 mile from your dormitory or room. Also, after having dinner, you will look for that other dessert, like whether ice cream is there or not. And also, you would look to see that whether sanitation is better or not. If it is not properly clean, then you would not like to go there. So these are the constant, and this one is the objective you want to fulfill. So always optimization problem is associated with some kind of constant. So what is the common theme in all these three type of problems? So in what is the common thing you can observe here? You make decision and choose one of many alternatives. That means from the feasible set you have to choose one. That one selected one, it would be optimal one. That means from the decision that those variable we are calling it decision variable, and from the decision variable you have to select optimal variable, optimal decision variable. Now, in order to select optimal decision variable, you have to either maximize or minimize something. That something we are calling it objective that you want to fulfill. In order to minimize that something, that objective, you cannot make arbitrary decision. It would be definitely very, it would be, must be choosy a selected kind of thing. So that's where you want to put some kind of constant or some kind of condition. So those things we are calling it constant. So three ingredients are coming. One is decision variable, second one is objective function, and third one is the constant. So it's common to every optimization problem. So in throughout in this class, we will discuss about all these three in detail and how to solve a optimization problem. So now, if I'm coming to this course, how is this course different from your everyday optimization or other courses what you had already taken? So we typically model a physical here. What we will do? We typically model a physical or social scenario with a precise mathematical description. So this one is the modeling part. Once we are having a modeling part, you know that modeling is always coming from some prior information or from some data set. So once we are having that data set or prior information, by characterizing that, we are getting a model structure. Once we are having a model structure, then we can apply our optimization technique there in order to get an optimal model. So in this mathematical model, we care about actually finding the best solution. So how can you get best solution? You can get best solution by applying optimal algorithm. Whenever we can't find the best solution, that means optimal solution, then we would like to know how far off our proposed solution. What solution we got? In that case, we will call it approximate solution. That means how far means we try to find accuracy of that solution. What is the accuracy of that solution, or what is the error bound of that solution? That means we are trying to talk about variance. Uh, Error can be written as, it can be bifurcated into two terms: area, variance and bias. So variance bias trade-off will come here. Variance and bias, though two term will come here. When we are not getting exact solution, then we will look for approximate solution. Once we are having approximate solution, then always we need to talk about trade-off between the variance and bias. Now I'm going to discuss about few examples from optimization. So one few example optimization problems here. First, in finance, we can observe that in what proportion. Suppose you want to invest in uh, finance market. How much 500 stocks you want to invest in 500 stock. So what you would like to see? You would like to see these are the constant. You want to definitely maximize your return. Definitely, you would like to minimize your risk. Uh, so also few more constant that you don't some in some stock may behave a negative way and some in a positive. So for that perspective, what no more than 1.1/5 of your money in any one stock should be invested, and your transaction cost it must be less than $70. It should not be high, and your return rate also it should not be low. It must be greater than 2% or something or 5%, something like that. So this scenario, this pattern, or this constant are there in order to invest your money in a stock. Now, if you are coming in machine learning, so there are several problems. Just I have taken one problem. So one problem is that how to assign likelihoods to email being spam. That means a spam filtering. You want to develop a classifier which will classify a spam and mail. So in order to do that, what kind of constant you would like to put it here to minimize probability of a false positive, to penalize overfitting on training data set. Probability of false negative must be less than zero point 0.5, and misclassification error on training set it must be less than 5%. It is similar to what in probability in statistics you have already studied that hypothesis testing kind of things. So those things are coming here. These are the constant tools that you can get an optimal model. If you are coming in control theory, so suppose you are model a autonomous vehicle. So you want to drive it from position A to position B. So what kind of constant you want to put it here? So those constant it would be to minimize fuel consumption, to minimize travel time, and also you have to look for distance to closest obstacle. It should be away from 2 meters, because in order to avoid accident, another kind of thing, and a speed limit. There must be some speed limit. You can't go with a very high speed. A speed should be less than 40 mile per hour, and path, that path need to be a smooth there. It should not be rough kind of path, otherwise accident may come. So these are the constants you have to look into in order to drive an autonomous vehicle from one position to another position. So it is again an optimization problem. So how can you so again I will discuss those things there, how performance index is coming as an objective function in order to model autonomous vehicle. So there are many other optimization problems, like in nature you can observe optimization in nature. When you are observing optimization in nature, what are the constants? So natural constant are coming. One is a minimum energy principle. You might have already studied in physics. Second one is a second law of thermodynamics, also you might have already studied in physics, and least action principles. So these are the natural constant uh, acted by nature in order to optimize things in nature. So I had already discussed that optimization appears anywhere, almost everywhere it is coming. So common, what is the common theme here? Common theme is that choose one of many alternative. That means optimal decision variable from many existing decision variable to maximize or minimize a certain objective under certain constant. So all three things are coming here. Decision variable is coming here, objective is coming, you need to optimize here, constant is coming, three things. So this is the common theme of optimization or this course. So in real life, so you talk about same thing is coming everywhere. So optimization is everywhere in real nature, real life, nature, science, engineering. Everywhere optimization is coming. Now, if I talk about optimization, then optimization, it is a computational mathematics. It is not just a theoretical part, it is a computational mathematics. That means a branch of mathematics which help in computing engineering problems, science and engineering problems. So it is a computational mathematics. Here you will see optimization from a computational viewpoint, as optimization and computing are very close to each other. For a host of major problems in science and engineering, the best algorithm currently come from the theory of optimization. So you can look for recent literature. You can look NIPS and ICML research paper. What you will observe there, most of paper, theoretical paper in computer science and other engineering branch are coming from optimization. They are discussing about optimization algorithm. Now, fundamental work by engineering scientists has led to a shift of focus in optimization theory from mathematical analysis to computational mathematics. I think engineering student may not like mathematical analysis, but here optimization is all about computational mathematics. It is very needed. So computational, it is giving a proper visualization. So from that perspective, this course will be very interesting. Now, several basic topics in scientific computing are either a special cases or fundamental ingredient of more elaborate optimization algorithms, such as I have already mentioned here. You might have already seen that least square method, root finding method, that means Newton method you might have already seen somewhere. Solving linear system, if you are having linear system, and generally it is not always possible to find analytic solution of a bigger class of linear system. It is not because of solvability, it might be because of memory perspective as well, because if you want to find inverse of very big matrix, definitely it will consume a lot of space. So those kind of things are coming here. Approximation and fitting, matrix factorization, conjugate gradient, all these are the uh, field where you need to apply optimization algorithm. Now I'm coming to few more algorithm. So one simple algorithm, you can call it machine learning algorithm, or any other algorithm also you can call it. But here it is actually based on optimization algorithm that suppose we want to classify a binary, we want to perform a binary classification of a spam. So if there are few messages, then easily we can identify whether it is a spam or whether it is a genuine mail. But if there is a bulk of messages, then it would be definitely time taking. So for that perspective, we need to define some kind of classifier. Then simplest classifier, it would be linear classifier. So here I have taken two example of message. So easily from messages you can identify which one is the mail and which one is the genuine message. Like one message, it read out, "Hello class, homework 1 has been posted and it is due on Thursday. And here my name is appearing." So definitely due to this information, you will classify it as a genuine mail. But if you get another mail, "Good day, congratulations, you have won $1 million. Click here to claim your prize." And link is given here. After reading this message, what uh, kind of thought will come to you? Definitely you will say that it is a spam, it is not a genuine mail. So you have to filter out such kind of mail or such kind of message. How can you do that? So in order to do that, you have to collect data. So several there would be bulk of messages, so you have to label it. And after that you need to do some kind of plotting. A scatter plotting is one of the interesting concept. You do a scatter plotting, and from the scatter plotting, it will give idea of introducing your model structure, what kind of model you want to introduce. So once you are introducing a model, then you have to find an optimal model. So again, you need to apply some kind of optimization algorithm to get an optimal model. So here, first thing it would be, in order to do that kind of things modeling, you have to come across input. Here I'm talking about this a specific binary classification problem. So what would be input? Input it would be your labeled example. That another name of that we are calling it training data set. Then what would be output? It would be an optimal classifier which will classify incoming mail as spam or not spam. So here we need to get an optimal classifier, just not a model. We need to get an optimal model. So such things are coming here. Optimal classifier we need to get. Okay, so what would be approach? Approach would be they have to associate each pair. That means male and male. We need to convert into some vector form, that word vector or something like that, and we have to associate some kind of label. Here xi, that word vector, what we are calling it, we can call it. It is a feature vector, and yi we are calling it label. So I have taken one plot of that one. So qplexion I have taken. So these are the collected training data. So suppose if I'm asking to find a optimal classifier, then definitely it is not a simple technique to find optimal classifier. Someone will draw like this way, someone will be draw like this way. It is a very layman approach. What is the best approach? So here you are having data points. It looks completely separated. So what idea you will apply from convex optimization? So these are the discrete points. So what you will do first, from the finite number of discrete points, you define a convex hull. So convex hull we'll discuss. It is a convex set and convex combination of all possible point of a given set. And once we are having convex hull, so both sides decide convex hull. This is the convex hull. All possible linear convex combination of points of the given a specific set. Now after that, what you do? You apply projection idea. That means find the uh, point with respect to this point. Find a point in this convex hull which is having least distance or minimum distance, and that point we are calling this point. We are calling it projection of this point. Suppose we are naming this point x1, and this point is projection x1 star. We always relate with the projection with the corresponding points. So we got this point, and this is the minimum distance. So now what you do? Find a perpendicular bisector of this. It will give your optimal classifier. So that is the idea. So it is all about convex optimization problem. So we did convex hull kind of things, and then after that we did we find infimum distance point. That one is again a convex optimization problem. And then after we find a separating hyperplane. That one is the optimal separating hyperplane. So every optimization problem happens to be what it is, just finding a separating hyperplane everywhere. Even I can classify any optimization problem as finding a separating hyperplane. Optimal. So among the several separating hyperplane, you have to find the optimal separating hyperplane. That would be your desired classifier. Okay. So assume, so that's the same thing I had already written here. So I would like to speak here. This is the optimal classifier, and this is the classifier definition of classifier. It is just a hyperplane. Now, if you are coming in perceptron algorithm, it is also having similar kind of pattern. What we need to have some training data set. Then this is the training data set, m number of training data set. Generally, in this course or anywhere, just to avoid confusion, what you do, take notation m for number of sample and n for dimension kind of things. Some book are having such kind of kind of criteria. And what would be here outcome? Outcome would be optimal weight vector, or another name of weight vector, you can call it dual vector as well. So here sample I is correctly classified if this sign of this one is equal to yi. That means it is equal to label value. And here this sign of omega transpose x I minus b, we are calling it is the label of classifier, and y is the true label. If sample I is misclassified, that means this sign of omega transpose xi minus b, it is not equal to label, true label yi. That is the criteria of misclassification. Then we are going for error minimization. We are defining some kind of error criteria and we can minimize. Due to that, this omega get automatically updated to optimal value. So there is many iteration technique we'll talk about. Even you can in perceptron algorithm, you can initiate from zero value of omega and keep on repeating, and then this is the update rule. With the help of that, you can get an optimal value of omega. This is the algorithm. Further, if you are coming to further motivation in the introduction, uh, but I had already discussed once. If there is a, if you are having a non-convex problem, definitely there would be issue to find optimal solution, because here you can observe that different initial point leads to different local minima, and that means local minima, you got stuck at local minima and you are not getting an optimal value. So that criteria is there here. So it is a stuck kind of problem. So how can you get that? So here you can apply duality theorem, duality concept, and with the help of that you can find a corresponding con convex problem which will give solution of or uh, universal bound under bound of this problem, and that will allow to get optimal solution. If there is a convex problem, again there might be issue. That it is not because that's of solvability. It would be because of because to make iteration automated. If you are making iteration automated, then there is a very interesting term is coming, that alpha, we are calling it step size. It must be adaptive in size. It can't be very high or very low. If it is very high, then there would be some converging issue. If it is very low, then convergence would be very slow. It will take so much time. So what we have to do, we have to take optimal value of alpha. That optimal value, how can you take? You can take it by some a special kind of line search technique. One of them, that is backtracking. It is very easy and interesting. So backtracking technique is giving a idea of taking optimal value of a step size alpha. So optimal model you can also get via regularized loss function minimization. So if you choose a parameter omega by minimizing this very common machine learning formulation of problem, where fi's are convex, r is also happens to be convex, and lambda is a fixed parameter. You can call it that regularized parameter as well. Here fi is represent cost of tuning omega on ith sample or ith data set, and r omega we are calling it a regularization term. It depends upon what kind of regularization you would like to impose there. If you want to put a sparsity, you would go for L1. If you want to put minimum non-concept, so you need to put ridge regression. So such criteria will come across. So this technique, I had already discussed all these things. If you are willing to ask any question, then you are welcome. Otherwise, I think this class is just about introduction. So any question, if you are willing to ask, then you are welcome. We will discuss regarding course next class onward in detail. And regarding your attendance, if you want to put attendance, just put your roll number in comment box today, and tomorrow onward, next class onward, I will create attendance box, attendance in Google Classroom. And if you, in meanwhile, if you face any problem regarding network or any kind of things, let me know, because uh, it is very much essential to attend every class in order to get maximum benefit of this course. So let me know if you face any kind of problem. Don't just be shy. And regarding book, I told that most of books are freely available, so you can get it from there. If you again face there, I will provide that book. Any question, any doubt? Okay, thank you. Thank you for attending this class.